Hey, everybody. I really appreciate you tuning into the broadcast today. So, what we're going to be focused on today is I'm going to be talking to you about my key components, my top things that I think you have to be successful, not just in sales, because, we do sales content here, but really in life. If you want a better life, you really have to apply, I think, these disciplines. I'm going to give you my top 10 components. Plus, at the end, there's a bonus component I'm going to be going over as well. But there's an old saying: if you want to achieve more, you have to do more. And no list would be complete without talking about hard work. You can't underestimate how important hard work. You know, Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop looking for the easy way to do things. It ain't about luck. It ain't about how talented you are. It's about working your ass off. That's how you get ahead in life. You got to outwork your competition. You got to be willing to put in the time. You got to be willing to work 8, 10, 12-hour days, sometimes even longer. You know, um, you look at anyone that's ever been successful, who's ever gotten to the height of their career, whether it be in academics, sports, or business, they simply just outworked their competition. They were the first ones to get there, they were the last ones to leave. So don't underestimate how important hard work is. Number two is you got to be patient. Patience is a virtue. Patience is about giving yourself permission to fail, giving yourself permission to fail over and over and over and over. If you lose your patience, then you're losing the battle. Just remember, it's going to take longer than you think. It's going to be harder than you think. You just got to be patient. There's somebody that a long time ago, when I first got into insurance, I heard one of my mentors up on stage say, "Hey, here's what I can promise you, that if you keep doing the right thing for long enough, good things are going to happen. You just have to be patient." So, man, I know we live in a microwave society where everybody wants overnight success. That's fantasy world. That's not the real world. So put in the work and be patient and keep doing the right thing, and it will happen. But you got to be patient. You can't stop. You got to keep grinding it out. Number three, sacrifice. I heard this from somebody I really admire, and they said, if you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes your sacrifice. Man, that's profound. You got to be willing to pay the price. I've heard a lot of people say, hey, you got to be willing to pay the price of admission. What does that mean exactly? That means three things you got to pay with when you're making sacrifices. You got to be willing to put in the time, the energy, and the emotion. Sacrifice is about willing to do whatever it takes. Sacrifice is about, you know what? Maybe you got to miss that birthday party. Maybe you got to give yourself permission to work on Saturdays or Sundays or put in a 10-hour day. Man, if you're not willing to sacrifice for what you want and for a better life for you and your family, it's never going to happen. So be willing to sacrifice. Number four is you got to be consistent. Working hard one day and slacking off the next day, making a sacrifice one day, you're never going to get anywhere if you're not consistent. Consistency is what transforms average people into extraordinary people. It's what transforms good salespeople to extraordinary, is being consistent with their activity, being consistent with their work ethic every single day. So just remember, you got to stay consistent, consistent, consistent. Um, if you're working with me at Senior Life, you got to be consistent with your activity. You got to be consistent with lead flow. Can't take leads one week and then not take them the next. You're never going to get anywhere. You got to always have leads coming in. By the way, I appreciate everybody being on this call today. We're going to wrap things up. We're about halfway through. My name's Joe Johnson. I'm with Senior Life. I appreciate you. We're always trying to put out good quality sales content for you to listen to and learn from. Do me a favor, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to our channel. We're always trying to put out good, valuable content for you to learn from. Also, hit the notification bell because when you subscribe and you hit the notification bell, next time I put out some content, you'll get a notification and you can check out our next video. So, where do we leave off? Consistency. Number 5 on my list is discipline. You gotta have self-discipline. When I was in the Marine Corps back in the 80s, if I could age myself, late 80s, by the way, it in the Marines, they always talked about discipline, man. It's intestinal fortitude, discipline. That's what keeps you going. Discipline. You can be motivated. Motivation is good. Motivation will help get you started, but it's discipline that keeps you going strong. You got to have discipline. Waking up every day, having your goals, having enough self-discipline to do whatever it takes to accomplish those goals. So don't underestimate the power of discipline. Just remember this. I always like to say this is what you do daily defines you. Your daily habits. That's who you are. And it's consistent. If you have good daily habits for one day and then 2 days you slack off, then you're not disciplined. Disciplined people are consistent every single day with what their daily goals are. Number 6 is you got to have self-confidence. You got to believe in yourself. Man, don't let what other people are saying, don't let your friends or family get you down. Oh, go get a real job. You know what? Doing what we do in sales, it ain't for everybody. Not everybody can do what we can do. So it's easy for people who don't have the self-discipline or the ambition to be in sales to criticize you. This is where you got to have the self-confidence to know that you're doing the right thing. And it's not whether or not people like you or not. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the naysayers. Believe in yourself. That will go a long way. Number 7, positive mental attitude. You got to be positive. People have been talking about positive mental attitude probably since the beginning of time when humans were on Earth and we were able to talk. You got to be positive. And being positive, it may not solve all your problems, but it'll help get you through the day. And remember, it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to it. And one little thing I do throughout the day that always helps me is that, a lot of people I've been told is that, Joe, man, you got a positive attitude. That's because I implement positive self-talk, man. I am a self-talker. I talk to myself all the time, and I'm always filling myself with positive mental attitude, daily affirmations that are positive. So important to stay positive. Number 8. All right, we're almost done. Number 8 is you got to be focused. You got to keep your eye on your goals, not the obstacles. Because when you're focused on truly what matters, everything else fades away. And you got to have enough focus that you can move forward with clarity and determination. The other thing I'm going to quickly say about focus is only focus on what you can control. Don't let things outside your world, don't let outside distractions mess you up. If you're in sales, there's only a few things that you can control. Believe it or not, you can control your attitude. Only you can control that. You can focus on your daily activity. So important. One thing that I learned a long time ago is I can't control who's going to buy. I can make a good presentation. I can work on getting better. If I really work on my skills, maybe I can improve my closing ratio 5%. If you're lucky, maybe 10%. But one thing I can control and I can focus on is my daily activity. I can control how many leads I got. I can control on how many presentations or what my activity was. Did I make $50 today or did I make 150 or 250? I get to control that. Nobody else can control that. So just remember that. You control your destiny. Activity is king. Only focus on what you can control. Number nine, mental toughness. Mental toughness is key. Mental toughness to me is about having the ability to manage daily stress that's in your life, pressures, challenges, chaos. Mental toughness is about having grit, is about having the undeniable determination. That's what mental toughness is about. It's about the 6 inches between your ears. What we do, I've heard people say, oh, sales isn't hard. Baloney, it's not hard. You know, it may not be physically hard, like digging ditches, which is mindless work. Anybody can dig a ditch as long as you have the physical capability. And I'm not knocking ditch diggers, but 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 working in sales and working with the public, man, it may not seem like hard work, but making 15 presentations, making 5 or 6 presentations in a day, man, that will just wear you out mentally. That's why you have to be mentally tough to succeed in this business. The last one before we get to our bonus is burning desire. Burning desire is about being focused on the end result and knowing exactly what it is that you want. You can't wish that you're going to make 10 sales today or this week. You have to have a burning desire that you're going to make 10 sales. You can't just wish you had 100,000 in your emergency savings account. You have to have a burning desire. It's about having the willingness to make sacrifices to achieve your goals. Like I said, man, stop wishing you were better, stop wishing you had more money, stop wishing you had a better lifestyle, and instead replace the word wish with the word desire. When you truly desire something, then you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. There's a great book, super famous book, Think and Grow Rich. In that book, they talk about having a burning desire. If you haven't read it, highly recommend that you read that book. All right, we're through our top 10. Last thing we're going to talk about is that you will never achieve what you want in life if you don't have clear and defined goals. All the stuff that we're talking about to achieve, what are we trying to achieve? We're talking about the rules of achievement. To achieve what? You got to have goals. Your goals need to be clearly defined with a timeline in which the goals will be achieved. Goals are useless. Goals are a wish list if you don't have clearly defined goals with a timeline in which you're going to complete it, and you have to implement a game plan in order to achieve those goals. Now, this video is not about goal setting. I'm going to do a different video about goal setting, so make sure you check that out when it comes out. Last thing I'm going to say about goals. Way too many people make the mistake of setting long-term goals. Oh, I want to make 100,000 this year or next 5 years, I want to do this. Listen, long-term goals are important. Okay. In fact, I think you should have at least 4 different goals set up. I think you should have long-term goals, which are a year plus. Could be a year, 2 years, 5 years, have a 5 year, maybe even a 10-year goal. You need to have intermediate goals, which are, 6, 7, 9 months out. You need to have short-term goals, which would be your weekly or monthly goals, or even quarterly. You could put intermediate as quarterly as well. So those are kind of interchangeable. But believe it or not, your most important goals are your daily goals. Your daily habits, what you do daily. Like I said before, what you do daily defines you. So your daily goals are inherently the most important, and they need to be written down. And my recommendation is, listen, if you want to use a Google Calendar, that's great, but you need to put pen to paper and physically write your goals down and how you're going to accomplish those goals and what is your game plan. Because here's what I can tell you, it's a proven fact is that when you write stuff down and you read it, you are rewiring your brain. You're rewiring or sending like neurological pathways to your brain when you're writing it and you're reading it out loud and you're hearing it through your own ears. And you should be repeating your goals, saying them to yourself at least 10 times a day. So again, here's my question to you before I sign off. Are you willing to implement these things that we talked about today? My question is to you, are you willing to do whatever it takes to succeed? Ask yourself, are you willing to do it? And just remember this, is that if you have a day and you don't succeed your goals, cut yourself a break, okay? God blesses us with a new day every day to start over. So take one day at a time, work your tail off. Try your level best to accomplish your daily goals. Implement all the things that we talked about. If you don't achieve it, reflect why you didn't achieve it. Give yourself permission to fail. And tomorrow's another day. Start over today. Every day we wake up with a clean slate. When your feet hit the ground, you should already be talking with your self-talk. Today's going to be a great day. I'm going to accomplish my goals. Look at your goals, read your goals. That's how you get where you want to be. So, listen, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I hope this information has been helpful. If you are, make sure you subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell. If you want to have a conversation with me, if you need some coaching, if you're interested in working with my team here at Senior Life, here's what I'll do. I will leave uh, a link in the description below in the video. You can click the link, fill out the little form. It'll send me an email. I'll reach out to you. We can have a conversation. Until next time, God bless and have an amazing day. Take care.